Here we are, live on Friday night. Ken was on earlier and he mentioned me, so I was like, okay, I guess now I don't have any choice. Um, Actually, a bunch of stuff happened today, so I've got a little bit of stuff to go over, and then I can finally get to bed, hopefully. Right. Where are we? We're all the way over here. I can finally get to bed, hopefully. Echo, sorry. Okay. All right. There he is. There's that Ken person. I've been brushing my teeth for 2 hours, so I'm just kidding. Ken, I think I found the other caliper. This isn't it, but I think I found the other caliper. Hey, David, shut up. Great. And my moderator. Hey, how's it going, James? I found the other caliper. I think it's at my parents'. I think it's there on the lathe at my folks'. Tim's here. Eric's here. It didn't show up today, Eric. It's gonna be tomorrow. Better be tomorrow. I hope it's tomorrow. Oh no, Ken's here. Dang it. Tomorrow. He'll come tomorrow. Terry, happy Friday. Tim Freeman. Terry, Ken, James, Eric. Yeah, everybody's here. Okay, good. I had a busy day. I had a really busy day. I actually went down to the folks. I did some machining on aluminum sleeves. I bought two brand new carbide end mills to help cut the keyway on the sleeves, and I left them here. Got most of the way to mom and dad's, and I was like, shucks. Hey, Bob. Yeah, where's Craig? Adirondax is here. Good. Yeah, late. I need to go to bed soon. Yeah, carbide. Yeah, they're like $18 a piece. I got two. But they're ball end mills. The one I have a straight end mill that's high speed steel that works okay, but I think a ball end mill would actually be faster for just getting in there and doing it. Actually, Ken, I wanted to ask, what was the material, the plastic stuff? There's Delrin and like a white plastic that would be easy to machine. You mentioned something a while ago. I don't think it was ABS that you mentioned. It was something else. Hey, Dan. Glass filled nylon. Nylon's a pain to machine. I know. Ugh. Maybe Delrin would. So I was just thinking like this this sleeve. No, it what is this called? A seal. This is a seal driver for a 200T that I made, or my brother made. But I was just thinking of how to replicate this, and I don't want to make it out of brass because it's just kind of silly to have it out of brass. UHMW. That's what you mentioned. UHMW polyethylene. I don't know whether that would be better or poor man's Teflon. Yeah. UHMW. All right, I gotta look that up and see if it's available. So anyway, I was just thinking of if I could make this instead of out of brass, out of something like that, and that would be a whole lot better. McMaster. Okay, I'll look. I've literally had a grand total of one request for this tool. So, whatever. What else did I do today? Is Larry on yet? Larry hasn't come on yet. I sent two pop-up pistons to Larry, and I've just been so busy. How big? This is slightly under 7/8 in diameter. Was that 4 inches? No, 3 inches. They're not big at all. So let's see. So I still don't have any word on the tools on my flywheel side rod, other than I did talk to the machinist, one of the machinists today, and I got an email back from him today, and he's going to check and see what the ETA is. But as soon as those rods are ready, I'm ready to rock. I went to Tractor Supply today. I got all kinds of rods and nuts and all that stuff. So, yeah. We've got these 2/6. I'm still thinking about how to do these. These are 2/6/8 pistons that you can cut that down for a pop-up, and yeah. So I gave Larry a 40 thousandths pop-up and a 50 thousandths pop-up. I don't know what's gonna work on a 372, but theoretically speaking, these 2/6/8 pistons you can stick on a 372 with a pop-up, and you don't have to machine the case or the base of the cylinder or whatever, and you get a little bump in compression. The last I saw on OPE forum was that Mastermind didn't seem to think that it had a whole lot of benefit, but I think Walt has been starting to get into this. Eric cut 040 on mine. Okay. Yeah, so Larry's got one with 050 and one with 040. I just didn't know what he needed, so I cut one of each. Going back and looking at it, I probably wouldn't cut any more than 050 out of this, mostly because the land thickness just gets thin. Yeah, I can imagine it gives a good bump in compression, compared to doing anything else with the unit. I see John Riley's playing with mopeds. The shop looks like a sod graveyard. Maybe those are all his. Who knows? I don't know. Riley lives on a different planet, I think. He's definitely doing work that's a cut above pretty much anybody else. He does some nice stuff. Yes, these pistons are for pre-X torque, so these are the original edition 372s. Well, technically speaking, these are for 2/6/8s. They're 50 millimeter pistons, single ring, and they will work for a 372 original edition, 50 millimeter. Yeah, Riley's much more organized than I am. This place is awful. No, this is not Meteor. This is Mako. These are really cheap aftermarket. But the pin bearing's pretty tight, or piston pin's pretty tight. Whatever, wrist pin's tight. I picked up a whole pile of them for pretty cheap on eBay, so I figured that what I would do is I would go on the lathe and make some type of a jig that would hold this dead center every time, just undo something. And I don't know. I came up with some silly idea that I would machine a bunch of pop-ups for people, but I don't know if it's a good idea or not. If you have to machine down the piston to make it pop up, how does that bump up the compression? Because a 268 piston is not supposed to fit in a 372. The wrist pin to crown height is different. So if you just slap this in a 372, you're going to have a head slapper. So you actually need to grind this down to have it fit in the 372 at all, and you end up getting a pop-up out of it. Good question, though, Terry. Actually, I was thinking, and you're welcome, Terry. I was thinking of making a holder like Walt uses, but something at least slightly different. I need a quick disconnect of some kind in order to do as many as I want to do. Am I wrong? Is the piston wrist pin height lower? Yeah, the pin is actually, I don't know if you can see it. The pin is lower compared to the crown, so there's more distance this way, I think. So I cut 2 pop-ups today. I did a bunch of cut downs for sleeves. I picked up 40 pieces of aluminum for sleeve blanks today. What else did I do? I did a couple of measurements on this piece. I was gonna make another one. I think it's for Jeffrey. Yeah. Didn't get to it. I only had so much time at Kyle Wingate. Thanks for all the videos. Just ordered one of the Huskies. One of the Husky whats? Welcome, Kyle. It's late, so I'm like this. But thank you and welcome. Oh, one of the kits. You ordered a 372 kit saw? Okay. Bore a piece in the lathe, drill and tap a hole for a screw, then saw cut it. I have a more elaborate idea, Ken. I don't know. I'm cuckoo sometimes. Yeah, Kyle, we're just hanging out, so definitely ask any questions you want. And I'm headed to bed soon anyway, so ask the questions quickly. What else did I have going here? Definitely tomorrow. Eric has been kind enough to hopefully jumpstart the project here on 3D printing some parts. So tomorrow, I am definitely anticipating the air intake air horn for the 394 showing up, which means that we can get that saw down there to pop, hopefully, but also we can get it so that we can experiment with the 3D printed air horns, which is awesome because if those actually now exist, then that would be basically a part that's no longer made that is now made. How's that? That'd be cool. I also took off 50 thousandths off the intake skirt for more duration. Runs great. Planning any other piston mods? No, not necessarily. Yeah, Eric, I don't typically trim the skirt on pistons. I mean, I know a lot of guys do. You certainly can. I usually go after the cylinder head itself if I'm going to be doing that, mostly because if you're just doing that, then you can just do that with a straight handpiece, which is just a typical Dremel tool. You don't really need anything special to do that. One day I'll get my 61s and put a 272 just to say I did it. Yeah. Cool, Bob. Kyle, it seems like between you and a fleet command seems pretty well documented. Yeah, Walt has more of overview and the useful side to videos, and I do more of the boring stuff. So I'll do all the bolt for bolt stuff, but I try to be super thorough. At least that's traditionally what I've done. So, you have to go back and watch the videos. My recommendation is, if you're watching me do a kit saw or watching me do any of these 372 videos, watch the video in its entirety, take notes, and then come on and ask questions, and I'm happy to answer. 6 o'clock in Alaska. Time to get some dinner there, man. I had some steamed asparagus and Vidalia onions, and I had too many onions. I didn't cook them enough. Yikes. It's Friday night. My kids are up late too, so they should be going to bed hopefully soon. Kids, go to bed if you're watching. So yeah, tomorrow's gonna be cool. If that part comes in, that's gonna be exciting. I don't have anything else going tomorrow that I know of. General work around the house, but nothing else. Just really kind of waiting on a few things right now, and I've got a few other ideas that I want to. Eric, I'm going to end up sending you some more stuff, but you can theoretically you can, Tim, but I don't know what happened tonight. I had a couple of pieces and it was just too much. So yeah, Eric, I'm going to probably send you some more goodies. We're going to throw some more ideas at you, assuming this works. Well, the 3D print is Bob. It's done. We're just going to test it tomorrow, or at least hopefully if it shows up in the mail tomorrow, which it should. We'll see if we can get it on the saw. David, yeah, testing Dad's saw. I actually tested it today, right, and it runs fine. Eric says whatever I want. Nice. Don't worry, we're gonna come up with some good stuff. I have to pace myself though. Delia's 4 hours from you. That's like into another state if you're from Connecticut. Possibly through Rhode Island. Yeah, so Dad's saw runs fine. I ran it for a few minutes today. Startup is at least a little weird, but I just attribute that to the 199 carburetor being odd. But once it got running, it was fine. Good power, good rev, reasonable idle. Doesn't sound awesome at idle, but it's not terrible either. So gets me to the bottom of Jersey. Yeah, right to the, yeah, maybe not 4 hours, not quite to the shore, not quite to Wildwood anyway. You get to Long Beach Island without any trouble. Right near North Carolina and Tennessee, yeah. So yeah, so the Dad's 350 runs pretty good. It's got really good power. I had that bar buried in red oak, noodling red oak. Ran great. It was really nice. My map ends at the Delaware River. Okay. You guys crack me up. Okay, it's Friday night. I gotta aim for bed, otherwise I'm just gonna lose it. I was supposed to be chilling out today, instead I did a whole bunch of stuff. So 346. It's Eric. My dad has actually a highway cylinder on that saw. It's a 346 clone, effectively, and it's a 45 millimeter cylinder instead of 44.3, but it's quad closed port. Right, not past the Mason-Dixon line. Don't get pizza south of the Mason-Dixon line. It just doesn't work. What time? Oh. I don't know. I don't know tomorrow. Basically, as soon as the mail comes, if I'm going to be available, as soon as the mail comes, I'll I'll see if I can get down here. Usually the mail's here at like 5:30 in the evening, so unfortunately it's not early in the day, but. Yeah. That's about that. Anybody have anything else? Questions, comments? Anybody wants tools, they can let me know. I got like 3 emails today for tools, which is great. And one guy actually works for like U.S. Agricultural Service. He said something interesting. Here's an interesting thing. He said that the government has now forbidden him to buy steel chainsaws because what he called geysering. It was when you open the fuel cap, fuel shoots out and pours everywhere. I've never heard of something like that before, but apparently the government has now restricted him from buying. Hey, Brandon's here. He's been restricted him from buying steel chainsaws. Recalled. Okay. Well, anyway, he's got a whole pile of saws to rebuild, so apparently he needs tools, so that's good. North of Chattanooga. What's up, Brandon? Did you remember any questions that you'd forgotten the other night? Because I'm about to go. It's Friday, it's late. I gotta go chill out. No. Okay. So then we're good then. So I'll try to come on tomorrow. I'm really hoping we can finalize this 394 over there. I think it's gonna be really cool if we can get our intake air horns, high top intake air horns that are 3D printed. Huge shout out to Eric Briggs for even attempting that. Appreciate it. But I'm also really hoping that we can do some other very cool stuff with the whole 3D printing thing, and indeed we will get to it. Oh, Larry? No, Larry? Larry didn't show up. Okay. Good night, everybody. James, Ken, Brandon, David, Tim, Bob, whoever else is here, Eric, etc. et al. Thanks for joining.